So we see KiLLeR in the bottom right as the yellow Zerg, and Beastie in the top left as the green Terran.
Yep, and Beastie almost always goes with Hellion Banshee openers. It really likes him. It's a pretty good, solid, standard opening. It can defend against Roach Bane all-ins better than a lot of other builds. Also, it allows you to get up a pretty good economy. It gets you 3 command centers without really being too dangerous. So, really solid standard opener, but he does it almost every game, and that can be kind of predictable. So if KiLLeR's aware of that, he could open up with 2-base Muta or something of the sort. He is a player who's willing to do really cheesy, aggressive strategies, should he feel the situation calls for it. And 2-base Muta is almost a hard counter to this style that Beastie plays a lot. So he's going to have to watch out for that if he plays like that and if KiLLeR is aware of the styles he likes to use.
Yeah, I also am interested in how KiLLeR is going to decide to open here with either Mass Queen or some kind of safe Roach. Fast Muta. It could be anything. I haven't really seen KiLLeR play much recently.
I know he really likes aggression. I would not be surprised to see at least one Roach Baneling attack from him in the series. If he chooses to do that now, or if he chooses to open up with a Mass Queen build and then transition into something, or even just sit back and play a full-on macro game, he is a very unpredictable player. And coming out scouting for proxy racks, but nothing up yet, just the 1 racks, and no gas just yet, so looking like 1 racks command center coming out from Beastie.
Yeah, very standard play from Beastie so far, but KiLLeR playing very safe, scouting very early. I think he sent it out on like 13, checking for proxy barracks here. You know, I think that's I don't know, maybe he doesn't know Beastie, but if I played Beastie, I would not do this.
Yeah, he's very much so a passive macro Terran. You're not really going to expect much cheese coming out from him. Particularly not any kind of proxy 2-racks, maybe a mid-game aggression build, but that's about the extent of it. So kind of unnecessary. But like you said, KiLLeR might not be too aware of how he plays. He's not the most famous of Terran players, so that's a possibility. But sending out a 13 scout, that's quite a dent into your economy. And against a player where you don't have to really fear cheese, not a good move to make.
Yeah, so he's gonna have to end up leaving the base with his drone. He's gonna try to block this command center at the natural, but the Marine's here, so he's just gonna have to leave. It looks like he is going for gas after pool, so most likely not going to be some kind of 4 queen. It could either be, you know, just getting link speed, or he could do something with roaches or some kind of early attack. We'll have to see. Maybe even mutas.
Yeah. That can transition into fast 3rd base. A lot of Terrans have been finding little timings, little Mass Marine timings that they can attack the queen build with. So some Zergs are starting to actually mix in the speedling upgrade and then go for queens and then trap the Marines with their speedlings.
What do you think about this Overlord?
I'm not sure how that happened. The Overlord can't always get there safely. I think.
I think it's gonna live. 20 HP, 6. Oh, 2 more hits. 1 more hit. Oh my god.
And you can actually kill the drone too if you cut
and
well.
the drone went down too. Wow.
That's a pretty big win. That 1 Marine's a hero, getting an Overlord and a drone. And that drone was sent out on 13, so it's lost him a lot of mining time already.
So like, if this were you playing this game, you would probably have already GG'd.
No, I would have just left. I wouldn't say GG.
Of course. And it does look like KiLLeR is taking off his gas, so just getting link speed. Having to make another Overlord is so annoying. It's like
it is. That's the worst feeling in the game. It's actually not a huge disadvantage. Like, it doesn't actually mean the game's over at all, but just psychologically, it's so frustrating knowing that you're behind like that, knowing that your entire build order has been thrown off.
And Beastie is just going to follow this up with very standard reactor Hellion. Probably, if I may make a guess, I think he's going to go for another command center here too.
Yeah, he does have 2 gas, 2 refineries mining gas. He's kept SCVs on them, so I do believe he will go into the Banshee build I mentioned before. With that fast speedling and only 1 more queen in production, KiLLeR definitely could be going for 2-base lair. Not a super fast 2-base lair though, not a Muta all-in or anything of that sort. Still, and there go the drones back on gas, so it should be a fast lair. Could still be a Roach Baneling nest. 2nd gas going down. That's pretty early. I don't know. It's hard to tell.
With his 2nd gas, I'm not sure either. Like,
that's pretty early for a Roach
that's
Baneling.
Either a very fast Spire, or it's going to be a Roach Baneling or some kind of Roach attack. Maybe just defensive Roaches is possible too.
The Roach Warren goes down.
There's the Roach Warren.
2 gases that early for just defensive Roaches seems odd to me. I think it'll be a Roach Baneling attack, but we don't see a Baneling.
And he does have speed. Now we'll just have to watch if he's gonna like make a bunch of Overlords and then make nothing else, and then.
Yeah, he only has the 1 Overlord in production, but he hasn't continued drones. He's starting to build up money. 1 more drone. He should be making Overlords by now. He's going to get supply blocked when he makes the Roaches.
And Beastie is in fact going for the Banshee, but not lifting his starport for quite a while. And so the bench is going to be a little bit later. If this is going to be an all-in, that might end up being a big deal. And it looks like Killer is saving up a bunch of money.
Yeah, he did. Actually, no, he's still producing drones, and he had himself Overlord blocked. It looks like another drone's going out to take a third base. So it will, in fact, just be defensive roaches.
Yeah.
But only the one additional queen, so that Banshee, particularly with Cloak, is going to be really hard for Killer to deal with.
I'm really confused what he's going to do with all this extra gas.
Yeah, this build's not super efficient. He doesn't even have roaches out in time to fend off the Hellions. He could actually just run in there and kill a bunch of drones.
These 4 Hellions could definitely run in here. I mean, there's the first 2 roaches, so looks like he will just stay at the third base and, you know, not try to force the issue, and these roaches will show up. So Killer is probably going to be able to defend his third base, and the next stage of the Terran attack is going to be with the Banshee, and then with 3 queens, it's going to be interesting to see how he's going to deal with that. I think 1 or 2 Banshees with like 10 Hellions is pretty dangerous. To Zerku expand like this, he's definitely going to need more roaches and maybe 1 more queen. And he doesn't have any Overlords like going into the Terran main. I don't think he's really seen.
No, he has no idea what's going on. Or actually, no, he did see.
He saw the command center. He didn't see the starport or anything like that. So he does have 2 evos that he's going to use to get +1/+1. It looks like he's just going to go into some kind of infestor build, probably get his lair. I play kind of like Stefano.
Yeah. But if he doesn't get down spores immediately, he's going to lose that third base, because Cloak is almost finished, and he's getting a second Banshee.
He's actually going to wait for 2 Banshees.
Yeah.
That is so dirty.
Yeah, he's dirty and smart. 2 Banshees with Cloak fly in there, that hatchery will die for sure, unless there's already spores up.
I think it's okay if Terran just makes 1 Banshee and they fly in there, and you're like, okay, it's a Banshee.
That's respectable.
I'll make a spore crawler. But then he waits for 2, and they're just going to have Cloak, and your queens are going to die, and you're not going to have
absolutely not
any spores, and you're going to lose this third base. So I think that's what's going to happen. But I'm
Overlord
not sure if he
Banshees.
saw it with the Overlord, did he?
I'm pretty sure, because he backed away immediately as soon as they came into vision range. I'm almost sure he saw it. He does have a spore coming up, but I don't know if they'll be in time. And they're not over there.
He definitely saw that. 2 spores.
Yeah.
He needs a spore here. He's getting
more than 1.
3 of them.
That might be overkill, but at least he will hold it off.
I think, yeah. It looks like here Beastie goes with the 2 Banshees. Going to target down the first queen immediately with the Cloak. He's going to kill both these queens for sure. The big question is if the spores are going to finish. No matter what, though, he's going to lose at least 2 queens, possibly 3.
Nice transfusion.
Very nice.
Just getting the mana in time. He still will lose that queen by costing a bunch of mana too.
And the Hellions run into the main, but the roaches are trailing them and are going to take them out. 4 too many drones almost. Only 4.
4 workers, but he did have to make a lot of spine crawlers, at least 5 stuns, and actually losing both Banshees, that's huge. BC lost both Banshees.
Both Banshees.
That means he can't
down.
control the map, he can't control the creep, he can't do any additional harassment from them. And two Banshees with Cloak is a huge investment. That did not turn out well for Beastie at all.
And Killer is making 16 drones right now, so Killer definitely successfully held that off, got his lair up, has a lot of spore crawlers, so these are very useful in the late game against drops as well, of course.
Yeah, they are. If he spreads those out well,
it probably seems like it might not be really good, but if you creep spread everywhere and just put random spores on like the side of the map, then I think that's really good.
It is. Terrans often just queue up drops and don't even watch them as they go through, so they'll lose some to random spore crawlers. It's very, very powerful to have. And a macro hatchery coming down, also getting roach speed and the drop upgrade, and in fact range attack upgrade, so it looks like he'll be going very roach heavy with roach drops, which is a very odd style.
I'm not sure if he thought it was going to be mech because of the...
That would make more sense.
The Hellion Banshee opening. Like Puma really likes to play Hellion Banshee into mech, and then I remember one of my games I thought he would go bio, and then he just showed up with mech, and my Link Bailing got rolled.
I don't know, roach drops are so ineffective versus bio that that's a really risky read to make without any kind of scouting information from Killer. He actually has an Overlord on the edge of the base, so he should be able to see the barracks. He knows what's happening.
He saw all of it.
He canceled the range upgrade. He's getting +2 melee now.
Okay, so he is just gonna switch into Ling Infestor here, and probably go Hive and play the Ling Infestor Ultra style like Stefano does, and it's quite popular nowadays. But I feel like his creep spread is unusually bad in this game.
It's probably because he's been up with only 3 queens, so he doesn't have nearly as many tumors going as you're used to from Zergs nowadays.
Yeah, I guess that's true. I'm just so used to people opening mass queen. And here's a small attack from Beastie with some Marauders, Marines, and Medevacs to the left side, but there's so many Roachling. He did lose a queen though, but Beastie is gonna have to pick up here and fly away.
Yep. Smart move by him going in there, knowing that he can just pick up and run away whenever. Just a no commitment attack. Interestingly, Killer is actually expanding to the less standard 4th base. Most players would take the high ground above their 3rd. Killer is instead opting for the right base.
He's got more creep spread here, maybe. Maybe that's why.
He does. And also, Beastie didn't really expect it. He sent that Marauder attack out to the other side.
Look how economically Beastie has played. He has so many barracks. He has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 barracks going. 4 command centers, double eBay, halfway to 2-2. He's a little bit behind, but he's gonna have 2-2 before he moves out or anything. And then he's like 20 supply ahead of the Zerg player here, so his attack with 2-2 is gonna be huge. And I feel like if there's not enough ultras or anything, then Killer could just roll over and die. I mean, Beastie is like ahead in SCVs.
Yeah, I have no idea how that really happened. That opening, Killer's opening was really inefficient, but then he held off the Banshee Hellion about as well as he could.
I feel like he really overmade roaches, and look how many units he has, and he's not doing anything with them.
Yeah, and he could end up actually losing that Hatchery, which would be absolutely huge.
He's gonna lose it to the Banshee.
That's really unfortunate. Given
oh my god, one more hit. Oh my god,
he just doesn't realize.
He thought it would die.
That'll die to almost anything, though, if he doesn't go in and transfuse it. So he's gonna... Killer really needs to go transfuse that Hatchery right now.
Here come the Marines and Marauders just stimming in, and they're gonna snipe. Oh my god, block them off.
You can just drop that one Marauder in there and kill it.
But this could be like one of those things where BC just really wants to kill a Hatchery and then starts becoming really ineffective.
Yeah.
And yeah, it's always nice, but he's gonna come in again. I'm wondering if these infestors are gonna be here.
If he fungles that, he could actually just keep it away from the Hatchery.
Yeah. Yeah, he's gonna save it again. Oh my god. Hatchery is a hero. 16. Oh, there's his confused. So now it's over. I feel like
it's relatively safe. If he goes in there again, it's going to start getting inefficient.
Before
Hive's actually already finished.
Before this game is over, the Hatchery will probably die.
Good.
Yes, Hive is finished. 3-3 on the way. Gonna see Adrenal and probably an Ultra Govern.
Yeah, no Spire at all. So he's pretty much forced into the Ultralisk tech path for now.
But Beastie is getting dangerously close to being maxed, and his 2-2 finish now. So he has 49 Marines, 5 Marauders, 7 tanks, 7 medevacs, so this is a really scary army with so many siege tanks, but Killer is going for a counterattack on this planetary fortress, and he's going to have to lift that, and BC is out of position, and he's just going to keep moving forward and probably try to attack that fort base, and here goes the scan.
He needs to be careful with his sieges. As long as he sieges properly, there's no way that Killer can win a fight right now. He really just has to wait for the Ultralisk to come out. Good fungals there. Losing a lot of units anyway, but at least killing off a little pack of bio. Yeah, Killer absolutely cannot engage into those tanks before the Ultralisk come out. There's just no way he'll win that battle.
The only way BC would... Oh my god, this Hatchery will go down right now. He sends out 7 Marines and he takes it down, so... Bye-bye 4th base, and also a few more units on the left side taking out the 5th base, because Marauders are OP. So, this Hatchery goes down. So now Killer back on 3 bases, his Ultra then did finish, and he's making 4 of them.
But yeah, now he's stuck on those 3 bases, and Beastie has secured a 4th base, so it actually a big economic lead for Beastie, and Beastie's upgrades are great, getting up to, I think that's +2 weapons for his tanks
and
3-3 on the way for his bio units. So Killer's really going to need to make something happen with his first round of Ultras. He has a lot of Infestor mana, he has this built-up lean army. He really needs to be aggressive, kill off that army, and then kill a base.
I feel like Killer's going to have one timing once these Ultras finish and his 3-3 upgrades finish just before. But it looks like he's going to fight now, and all these tanks are sieged out.
Oh,
and this is so hard to engage.
Yeah, he just cannot engage that. He has to wait. He has to keep those infestors alive.
He fungles this though, that's really good before they get back to the tanks, but yeah, he gets a lot of units, so he's gonna kill these off. But he loses the base, and Beastie has so much money at 4 base, he can just remax anytime. But now the Ultras are finally finishing up. The 3-3 is gonna finish. All these infestors have so much energy. If he gets an amazing... Oh, he goes in before 3-3. Here come the Ultras. The tanks are unsieged. He's going to catch all of these tanks. Here are the reinforcements. A lot of tanks and Marauders. But these tanks get surrounded, and he just barely pulls them back into the tank line. The Killer keeps going, and he has to fungal these Marines. He has to fungal them.
No fungals for a long time there. A little bit of a mistake by Killer. Could have been way more efficient. He might break through here, but he's losing way too much stuff.
The siege tanks killed so many infestors with splash damage, and these Ultras, you know, they're strong, but they just keep whittled down, and then the reinforcements come, and Killer's army gets cleaned up. It's so unfortunate that he moved in just before 3-3. I mean, he was definitely behind, but he might have had a little bit of a better engagement if he had 3-3, but now BC way ahead. Killer just barely mining his 4th base. BC still going strong on now. 5 bases, getting 2 command centers here, maybe 2 planetary fortresses. He's making a lot of Marines at a time. His 3-3 is almost done. And I don't see any way for Killer losing this. He's just now getting a Spire.
Yeah, Beastie really has this in hand. That timing that Killer almost hit was his one opportunity. He saw the chance to go in when those tanks were on siege, but like you said, it was just before the 3-3 timing. His units were not as efficient as they needed to be. Missed a lot of fungals. And going in here and actually putting pressure on the 5th base, he might be able to take those down, at least force a lift on both of them. However, he is going to lose his entire army to the reinforcements of BC, and BC's army is just getting gigantic now. 3-3 upgrades are about to finish for him as well.
And Princess Oppie is actually going to lose his command centers, perhaps. Just barely saves one.
Wow.
but you know, it's totally worth it. Look at KiLLeR supply at 110, and in the income tab you can see KiLLeR actually getting a lot of money. I'm not sure how that's happening.
It's really good distribution across the 3 bases, but that still doesn't make a ton of sense. Like, he just can't.
Once the mules land, it should be higher for Terran.
Yeah. He just can't afford to reproduce at the rate he needs to, because he can't fight efficiently versus Beastie anymore. Beastie's army is too big and scary and well upgraded. He really needs to be able to afford to throw units at and whittle him down, and he just can't. He just doesn't have enough bases.
Beastie now moving forward, unsiege. There he sieges up. All these tanks are going to get blocked by these wings and ultras, and he is bungling, but I feel like it's just way too many Marines and Marauders from Beastie.
Yeah, too many medevacs as well. He can almost out-heal Fungal at this point, and with Marine Marauder that doesn't work out. You need the DPS of Fungal, or a lot of Banelings to actually take out the fireballs.
And now he's just focusing down the infestors, the ultras dying, trying to transfuse, but it's not working. And this Brute switch that he was playing just barely too late, and there's the GG, and you know, Beastie just showing how much of a